Hi, everybody. So, yesterday was my birthday, and I have a book haul for you all and some reading updates. Thank you for the birthday wishes to everybody who left them to me yesterday on Facebook and texted me. They are much appreciated. So, for the book haul, let's start off with this book. This is one of my anticipated new releases for August. It came out August 20th. My mom and dad gave it to me for my birthday. It's called By Any Other Name, and this is a historical fiction that's about a playwright who is in a Shakespeare acting company, and it's a dual POV between the person who's writing the play and the actress who is in the Shakespearean times. I just started this morning, and I am on page 97. The next book is a book that I got from my sister. It's called Crying in H Mart by Michelle Zanyar. This is by the lead guitarist in the band Japanese Breakfast, which is a band from Asia. This book was recommended to me with Cindy, and it's a memoir about this lead singer from the band Japanese Breakfast and how she deals with the grief of losing her mom. I am currently on chapter 6, Dark Matter, and really enjoying it. The next book is one of the books I got from my in-laws in the mail today. This is called James by Percival Everett, and it is the tale of Huck Finn from the slave's point of view. So if you remember the slave Jim in Huck Finn, this is his story. So I can't wait to read this book. It has been a while since I read Huckleberry Finn, so this makes me want to read the book again. The next book I got from my husband Matt. This book is called Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman, and let me just read to you what it's about. In Norse mythology, Gaiman stays true to the myths in envisioning the major Norse pantheon: Odin, the highest of the high, wise, daring, and ongoing; Thor, Odin's son, incredibly strong yet not the wisest of gods; and Loki, son of a giant blood brother to Odin, and a trickster and a usurpable manipulator. Gaiman fashions these primeval stories into a novelistic arc that begins with the genesis of the legendary Nine Worlds and delves into the exploits of deities, dwarfs, and giants. Once Thor's hammer is stolen, Thor must disguise himself as a woman, difficult with the beard and huge appetite, to steal it back. More poignant is the tale in which the blood Kavasar is the most sagacious of gods, is turned into a mead that infuses drinkers with poetry. This work culminates in Ragnarok, the twilight of the gods and the rebirth of a new time and people. Through Gaiman's depth and witty prose emerge these gods with their fiercely competitive natures, their susceptibility to being duped and to duping others, and their tendency to let passion ignite their actions, making these long ago myths breathe pungent life again. So I'm excited about this book because these gods are mentioned in the Marvel superhero movies and Thor Ragnarok, and I think there's also a Disney Plus series that focuses on Loki. So I'm excited to read this book and then watch the movies based on these Norse gods that are. The next book is also from my in-laws, and it's the Hamilton, the Revolution. So this is basically the tale of what the Hamilton musical is based on. So I'm excited to read this and learn more about the history of the time period that Hamilton is set in. And finally, in my birthday book haul, the final book is Poems by Mary Oliver. As people know, I'm really into poetry, and I got introduced to Mary Oliver in the Poetry as Spiritual Practice class that I was doing with the UU Church of Nashua that I don't do anymore because I kind of lost interest in doing it. So I'm looking forward to reading the poems and maybe getting inspiration for poems of my own from them. So for reading updates, 2 books that I finished that were also recommended to me by With Cindy were Fiona and Jane and How to Pronounce Knife. These are books this book is by a Taiwanese author, Jen Chen Ho, and it's a series of short stories about 2 girls named Fiona and Jane as they come of age. So my favorite short stories in this anthology are Go Slow, Cold Turkey, and Clairvoyance. The next book, which I just finished this morning, is How to Pronounce Knife. This is another short story anthology by a Laotian Canadian author called Sao Vankaham Taham Vonska. This was also recommended to me by With Cindy, and the short stories that I liked in this anthology were Randy Travis, Paris, and The School Bus Driver. This book that I'm currently reading is called Run Me to Earth, a novel by Paul Yoon, author of Snow Hunters. So Alisak, Prani, and Noi, 3 orphans united by devastating loss who must do what is necessary to survive the perilous landscapes of 1960s Laos. When they take shelter in a bombed-out field hospital, they meet Vang, a doctor dedicated to helping the wounded at all costs. Soon, the teens are serving at motorcycle couriers, delicately navigating their bikes along the fields filled with unexploded bombs beneath the indiscriminate barrage from the sky. Excuse me. In a world where the landscapes and roads have turned into an ocean of peril, we follow the grueling days of rescuing civilians and searching for medical supplies until Vang secures the evacuation to the last helicopters leaving the country. It's a move that with irrevocable consequences and sets them on dissipate in treacherous paths across the world. Spanning decades and magically weaving together storylines with lace, beauty, and cruelty, Paul Yoon crafts a gorgeous story that is breathtaking historical feat with a fierce study of the powers of hope, perseverance, and grace. So I just started this book this morning, and I am not very far into it yet. I'm only on page 14. The next book is called Sea of Change. This is a coming-of-age story of a girl named Ro who lives in California. I feel like this author was inspired to write this book from reading Remarkably Bright Creatures, because it's about a story about a girl who deals with grief and has a octopus in an aquarium that she really connects to. But unlike Remarkably Bright Creatures, the octopus does not have its own chapters where it has its own point of view. It's just the point of view of the girl, and I mean, I'm liking this book so far. It's a debut from this author, Gina Chung. I like her writing. It's really good and engaging. I just think the main lead girl character is kind of whiny, but I mean, that makes sense because she's going through a lot of grief after losing her dad, and she's on a journey to, like, kind of bring back old artifacts from the octopus in this story is Rose's last remaining link to her father, who is a marine biologist that disappeared while on an expedition when Rose was a teenager. When Dolores is sold to a wealthy investor intent on moving her to a private aquarium, Rose finds herself on the precipice of self-destruction. Wading through memories of her youth, Rose realizes she can either lose herself in the undertow of reminiscing or finally come to terms with her childhood trauma, recommit to those around her, and find her place in an ever-changing world. Nicole Chung, the author of A Living Remedy, blurb this book. Sea change enthralls as it nourishes, illuminating the complexity of family, love, loss, and the often surprising journey to self-understanding with precision, tenderness, and wit. A sensitive and unforgettable debut. I definitely agree with what Nicole Chung blurbed on the back of the book. I would definitely say that her writing, that the author Gina Chung's writing is very precise and tender and funny. I have been laughing a lot throughout this book and crying at some points too. So it's a very good mix of emotions. I think I'm going to probably give this book 4.5 stars once I finish it. The next book that I'm reading is a fantasy horror book by Sean McGuire called Title Creatures. All across the world, people look up to the moon and dream of gods of knowledge and wisdom, gods of ties and longevity. Over time, some of the moon gods incarnated into the human world alongside the others manifest natural causes. Their job is to cross the sky above the impossible city, the heart of all creation, to keep it connected to reality. And someone is killing them. There are so many of them, and it's easy for a few disappearances to slip through the cracks, but they aren't limitless. In the name of the moon, the lunar divinities must uncover the roots of the plot and thwart true gods behind these attacks, control of the impossible city itself. So this is my first book by Sean McGuire. So far, I'm really liking the combination of sci-fi and fantasy and horror. It's a good mix of all three genres, I think. And since I'm having issues with getting into the horror genre, I like books that can combine other genres with it, so that way there's not as much gore. So this book has been really good, and I am on page 115. So I have some programming updates to announce for the YouTube videos I do with Matt on his channel. To break up our videos for the fall, we are splitting the videos into small chunks. The next video that we're doing is going to be our August entertainment wrap-up, which will be out on Sunday at 1 p.m. Then at 5:30 p.m. we are doing our serious issues in the media wrap-up video on Cougar Town. Then on September 22nd, we are doing our entertainment comparisons wrap-up, where we will be comparing and contrasting the Wheel of Fortune hosts of Pat Sajak and Ryan Seacrest. We're going to be comparing the book and the movie of the book and the TV show of Daisy Jones and the Six, and talking about the serious issues that are discussed in that book and show, which are substance use disorder and infertility. And then at the beginning of November, we have two videos coming out One, which is our serious issues in the media wrap up. We have been doing this serious issues in the media series since last June. So we are going to be wrapping up this series with a top 20 list of all of the TV episodes we've watched, adding in new episodes or movies that we have seen recently. So to see where the movies that we will review in the August wrap-up will fit into this list, stay tuned for that video on November 2nd. Then a couple of days after Thanksgiving, we are going to do our fall entertainment wrap-up, which will consume of movie reviews of movies that we have watched in September through November, and also reviewing the Manchester Community Theatre Players fall show of The Little Mermaid, and also anticipated holiday new releases. So stay tuned for those videos and have a great day. Thanks for tuning in.